we designed a flying tool to help save whales in Iceland. But we'll get to this later. There's more to this story.
Sam's background is in designing and building rockets and real-life Iron Man jet suits. I know it's only rocket science, but he was cheap and available.
And Ed's background is in designing electric vehicles and wildlife filmmaking, which is just a fancy way of saying he likes to chase the squirrels after dark. And now we're combining our skills to make wildlife fly.
Liftoff.
But that's taking a while, so in the meantime, we're designing things to help conservation heroes around the world. With some help from our friends. And this time, we're doing whales.
Every year, a charity called Whalewise stations themselves in Iceland for the summer, primarily to look at humpback whales.
Humpback whales play a vital role in maintaining healthy oceans. Their movements help circulate nutrients, supporting fish stocks and the broader food web, but they're under threat. Entanglement in fishing gear, ship strikes and climate change are all putting pressure on their survival. By protecting humpbacks, we're not just saving an iconic species, we're safeguarding the health of our oceans. They need our help, and every effort counts. We love the sound of what Whalewise are up to,
so we ventured into Putney, London, to meet with Jess from the charity. Hello there.
Hi.
I'm Ed, nice to meet you.
I'm Sam, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Jess Ward is a self-confessed whale obsessive. Through her work with Whalewise, she's dedicated herself to protecting these creatures and inspiring others to care for them too. So we could start by just explaining a bit about who you are and why you're involved with the project.
Well, I'm Jess, and I basically met the Whalewise team when I was in my final year of university. And so that's how I became involved with Whalewise, and then this specific project, which is called Scars from Above, where we're using drones to look at humpback whales and look at scars that are from fishing nets and the fishing industry.
The whales get scars from becoming entangled with their fishing gear. What risk does that actually cause to the whale?
What we're studying is what happens when they do survive entanglement. I would say the main thing is they're less able to expend energy on important kind of survival and also just happiness factors, I guess. For example, they might skip breeding that year. Also maybe feeding. You can think about ourselves. Imagine if we had to walk around with like a net stuck to our leg. Life is hard as it is, but then we've got something that we're having to carry, like a big bag on our back for like years
That would definitely
and years.
affect our breeding as well.
It would, exactly. It would really affect breeding, feeding, and just general well-being.
So, Jess and the team attach a piece of equipment to their drone called a LiDAR.
Yes, and when they spot a whale in a fjord, they fly the drone over it.
While the whale is at the surface, the LiDAR device measures the time it takes for an emitted signal to bounce back. This allows the team to calculate the exact distance between the drone and the whale. And by combining this data with the drone's photos, they can identify whale scarring and measure the whales to assess their health.
Yes, first though, we needed to see their existing kit in action, so we headed to the outback of Oxfordshire.
Yes, so armed with a paddleboard and our friend/electronics guru Francis Prime, we got stuck in.
Well, this is one of our drones called Coda. The LiDAR goes on the bottom, the GPS on the top, and then we have the battery.
It's worth mentioning that the existence of the equipment at all is enormously commendable. However, the system could certainly be optimized further.
It's not a perfect sort of piece of equipment. It's hard to think how I spend my time apart from Wales, but I'm also a yoga teacher and I teach yoga in Iceland. And I actually teach a special kind of yoga called whale and ocean themed yoga. I really enjoy running, reading. I guess cut that bit out. Just don't say running and reading because that sounds a bit weird. Just say the yoga.
Wow, it looks incredibly fiddly to put together. You know, you've got these bits of wires going to GPS sensors. You've got this really expensive, sensitive LiDAR sensor underneath.
The drone looks so slick, you know, and streamlined, and then suddenly you've got this big thing that's hanging on the end.
Do you know if the LiDAR's doing anything? Do you know if it's on and working?
So
They don't even know if the LiDAR's capturing data. They don't even know if it's switched on. You know, if we can look at improving that, that'll be really good.
So, plenty of room for improvement spotted already. Time to get it in the air.
So who's going to release it?
So yeah, who wants to do it? You want to? Yeah? Sounds good.
With Frankie promoted to launch pad, we took care of deploying the whale.
She's going out for a maiden voyage.
So we'd initially planned to use a tugboat, that Swan, to pull the paddleboard out so we could all still be on land and watch Jess do her research. Come on.
Don't you act as if that wasn't funny. Ah, there we go. That was way more powerful. Stop.
But it turns out Swans have very small batteries.
Okay. The success levels of this are low.
Sam,
Yep.
plan B. This for safety. This for propulsion.
They don't look like very attractive underpants.
Put it on properly.
Why do you want it on properly?
You'll be upside down like this with your legs in the air. Once Sam was deployed as our whale simulator, is that working?
No.
We let Jess track him down with the equipment. We're launching.
Just gonna try and find me. I'm marooned on my paddleboard, tied to a tree with a tiny knot.
Oh, that's the whale.
There's the whale.
Uh-oh, I've been found.
Well, it's looking a little bit like it's trapped in this bush, and it's waving as well, which is I've not had that before.
After positioning her drone directly over humpback Rogers, Jess was able to get her data. And then she demonstrated her skills in subterfuge. What can we tell him to do that sounds like it's for science? Just squeeze that when you speak.
Okay.
Hi Sam, I was just wondering, because I'm going to try and mimic getting a fluke image, could you put your legs in the air but then put your legs quite far apart from each other?
Sounds like a usual
Tuesday. How's that?
Jess says wider.
I can't go wide.
Just says the whales don't complain.
Now splash a bit.
Yeah, just so that we can mimic diving. Splash a tiny bit.
Yeah, we need to see the water.
Yeah. There we go. Perfect.
What is this achieving?
Okay, Mr. Whale, you can come back now.
Whale simulant returning home. I have wet trousers. Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and Exhibit C.
It's not the most refined process, is it? You've got all this equipment sticking out from the drone and it doesn't really fit the form factor. So what ends up happening is you can't land it, so you have to catch it when it comes back and hold it when it takes off. Frankie was clearly quite uncomfortable.
It tried to run away from me there.
So you can imagine a volunteer who's new to this, out in freezing Iceland, being told to hold this thing with 4 spinning blades above their head to go and research some whales. So I think if we can help with any of those usability features, it'll be hugely beneficial.
So we gathered our testing equipment and returned to the car park, mobile headquarters to check the data.
Prise those open.
Oh, there we go.
So Jess has just removed the SD card from the LiDAR system to pull the data off. Now what that looks like is peeling this piece of tape off that's holding the LiDAR to the drone, undoing this zip tie, peeling back the electrical tape, prizing apart the plastic to reveal the SD card slot here. That is so bad.
This upset us greatly.
But now we'd wrestled the memory card from its lair, we could use the data to do things.
Should we measure my height on it? Can you just click the top and bottom of me?
Once Jess lined up the drone footage with the data from the LiDAR unit, she could then measure Moby Dick.
1.87 meters. It's slightly off, probably because I measured the top of my hat to the heel of my Wellington boot. It got the board pretty much bang on.
Once Jess has the data from the LiDAR and the drone on her laptop, it all becomes quite straightforward and she can measure the whale, or Sam on a paddleboard. It's everything up to that point, which is the problem.
Yes, it's very much a hardware issue. You have to dismantle this thing just to get at the SD card. There are wires everywhere that can get tangled up in the propellers and chopped in half, and you have to catch it whilst wearing a leather bird-catching glove. So a lot of work needs to be done to turn this into an easy-to-use tool.
The first thing to tackle was the electronics gubbins, the brains of the thing. The electronics in Jess's version worked, but some of the components are discontinued and newer stuff is available, so we thought best to start again from scratch. We managed to find smaller, upgraded versions of some sensors. The smaller the whole device becomes, the lighter it gets, increasing the flight time of the drone. After many iterations, we ended up with this, a super lightweight, extra thin circuit board with weight-saving cutouts to which all the components can be inserted and soldered in place.
We also added some new electronics features, but we'll go more into detail on those later.
With the main electronics direction decided, we started to look at the physical characteristics of the project.
Yes, so we both went away to come up with a concept around a 40 by 40 by 140 millimeter shape, something we knew we could fit the electronics into. Our concepts had to be easy to deploy and easy to catch for those organizations working off boats.
To test our concepts, we needed an impartial adjudicator. There was no time for nonsense, so we got on a call with our business advisor, Raj.
Is it likely you'll have a day or half a day spare to help us with the development of the whale stuff? We need a user, i.e. you, to have a go at it without knowing the technicalities behind it.
So what you're really saying is you need somebody who's not very smart.
So are you free?
No, he doesn't mean that. He just means someone not familiar with what we've already built.
We call them dumb users.
You said it, Raj, not us.
Hey, listen, I will. Yeah, when do you need me?
A dumb user. So I've taken the day off to be a dumb user. I am looking forward to it in some way. It'd be nice to see what you guys get up to. Anybody else there, or just you two?
A couple of people, we've told them to call you Mr. Raj as well.
I actually hate that.
What do you prefer?
Just Raj would be nice.
Right. Don't worry, Raj, I'm fine.
Good. Go save my knees.
Sam and I need to show each other what we've come up with first, but we can't show you just yet because then you'll know
Oh, okay.
how
I'm
it
going to
works.
get coffee then.
We are in rural Bedford and we're here to test the first concepts of our drone attachment and catching mechanism. So this is genuinely the first time that we've seen each other's designs.
How about you reveal yours first and I'll give you a couple of minutes to explain yourself.
I won't need minutes. In 3, 2, 1.
That's pants.
It's not pants. Well, this is, okay, this is pants. I couldn't find anything else to hide the other bit in.
My thinking was to verticalize and sidewaysify the whole thing, integrating the 40 by 40 by 140 shape this way as a massive grippable handle, making it safe and easy to catch.
With this, you plop it on like that.
The GPS wire is housed within the Velcro strap, placing the GPS receiver on the top of the drone for a strong and stable satellite connection.
So the LiDAR is here.
The LiDAR is here, correct. So now it's low and out the way, and look at that, I can just catch it.
Yeah, okay, and what's in the pants?
Now, you may wish to take it off from the ground. So, may I reveal, if you want to take off from the ground, that is what you attach. Taking off from the ground is old-fashioned. What you really want is this.
Can I give my thoughts now?
Yes.
What if you don't want to catch it at all and you just wanted to land it, but now you have all of this, plus all of this extra stuff, adding all mass to the drone that's going to inhibit its flight time?
I bet you've got a handle and the device, so yours is going to be heavier. Yours is going to be heavier.
You wait and see. This looks absolutely terrible. This looks like it came from the early learning centre, like my first mallet to hit someone with.
Yes, exactly. It's so intuitive, it's like my first mallet.
Not intuitive. Any serious scientist who wants to go monitor whales will be embarrassed to deploy this and show their fellow researchers.
No, they won't. It's always embarrassing.
Eventually, the rude man had to shut up and show his concept.
I thought you might go for a plasticky catch.
Yours is more plastic than this. For my concept, I kept it horizontal, and it's made of 2 bits. This tray that attaches to the drone, and then the main LiDAR bit that clips on to the tray. So in the field, you can very quickly deploy and pack away the system. I've integrated a little feature here so that this handle, which is cheap and easy to get hold of, can be easily bolted to the back. So I focused on hitting the brief precisely. This is easy to deploy and easy to catch.
Now, what I focused on is the most efficient overall design. And not only do I already have a grip, all of my stuff that would be in this box is in the grip.
You can't just cut bits out of it. We said we had a cuboid.
I can. This is 40 by 40 by 140, as we said, this grip. So,
and what about all the bits that are missing, like the corners?
We don't need corners.
That is no less than this altogether.
But this has an extra use. This isn't functional.
Yeah, but
this
that
is just
can't
a block.
be that can't necessarily be this wibbly wobbly shape.
Cameraman James was evidently getting bored of our formal critiquing.
So I helped Ed assemble the drone side component of his concept.
Your arguments are basically, I bet you've done the right thing.
And then we summoned Mr.
Raj! You ready?
So I'll let you guess who's put theirs in pants.
I won't be touching that one.
So, you are a whale researcher, and when a whale appears out at sea, you need to attach one of these devices to the drone as quickly as you can, get it up in the air, and ready to sense.
Briefing over, Raj couldn't contain his excitement as the first concept was revealed.
Yep.
Assemble it.
Oh, okay.
Assembling both concepts was a breeze and really rather boring to behold.
However, Mr. Raj was transfixed by the sturdiness of my design.
Just wave it in the air. More aggressive. Do the most aggressive you can. Okay? I want to see more arm wave.
Yes, we get it. It's strong. Now let's move on.
Excellent.
Right, we've tested here in Bedfordshire, but this stuff might be used out in the wild where the conditions will be a lot worse. So I want you to do the same thing while wearing some mittens. I'll just prepare mine for you.
No, you won't.
No, okay.
Come on, he put the Velcro on mine. He's got to put the Velcro on yours.
No, he doesn't. That's the point.
Pre-assembling
his
design.
You're making me angry now, because look,
see.
you do this at once at the start of the season, and then you never touch it again.
I agree.
This is not part of the interaction we're testing.
It is. You have to do that to use the device.
Come on, support each other. Teamwork.
Why can't you support me?
You can do whatever you want with mine.
Teamwork.
You can
I've just realised why everything takes you guys so long.
get rid of it.
Mr. Mittens had a point, so we cracked on.
And remarkably, they both sailed through the mitten rating, thanks to their chunky features and self-aligning mechanisms.
There you go.
And he's ready to go.
And we're ready to go.
Time for flight testing.
Okay, time to get airborne.
We only have one Raj.
Yes, so we made sure to protect him and his $1 million smile.
I'm sure I'm being stitched up here. What am I doing? Catching the drone?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Ready?
My design was easy enough to grasp.
That was okay.
Well done.
Pretty straightforward.
But Sam spotted a problem.
Do you want to do that jiggle test that
No.
you did on my one?
Probably not.
Yeah, just do the jiggle
No.
test. So just give it a good jiggle.
This is going to break here, I'm telling you now, if I will shake this.
Anyway, now to catch Sam's thing.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
And in fairness,
Try and break it.
the sturdiness of the grip
Properly flail it around.
was pretty remarkable.
Now throw it in the lake. That's quite a good bit of yours, because I can recognise the goodness in other people's designs.
I said this about
Actually, you know what?
30
I've got to
minutes
be
ago.
honest. Shall I be very honest?
Yeah?
I think a hybrid of these two would be perfect.
Anyway, we still needed to test Sam's landing legs.
Oh dear.
Raj was right. Our best bet was to combine our ideas.
So that's what we did. And in here is our first prototype with all of the electronics packaged into a single design based on our learnings.
Yes, after a load of printing, soldering, and some other things,
Now, believe it or not, this building behind me is actually a forge.
our prototype was ready.
So we went to find Jess and the rest of Whalewise to put it to the test.
We're in Iceland, home of the big blubbery behemoth.
Yes, and we're here to test our prototype.
Before finding Jess, though, we wanted to see some whales up close. So we donned some whale-proof armour.
And sweet-talked Captain Fluffles into letting us onto her boat. Then after a quick safety briefing in semaphore,
We very bravely hit the high seas. And found some whales.
I am absolutely in love with the shape of the tail as it enters the water. It's just like a naturally perfect shape.
So perfect, in fact, that it made Sam very happy indeed. But don't worry, we regained our composure to deliver some astute observations.
They're really big. They look like they've been inflated.
Anyway, time to find Jess.
Whoa.
We're in the West Fjords of Iceland looking for Jess and the research team.
On the way, we discussed some immersive whale research techniques.
We should go to the jacuzzi to familiarise ourselves with what it's like for them to be in the water for such a long period of time.
I was going to say, yeah, they are in their whole lives, so we can't really dip in and out.
There they are. Oh, did I overtake them?
I'm just stopping here.
I thought you were about to do an overtake. Hello there.
Hello.
Hi. Good to see you, Sam.
You too.
Hey,
hello,
nice
Jess.
to see you. Hi.
How are you? How are you?
We were eager to help, or at least seemed like it, so we asked for some whale spotting advice.
How do we spot them?
So normally their breath, their blow.
Okay.
Right.
Or the black body.
So the whale. You see a whale.
So we're looking for the whale. With that clarified, we left it to the other pros, while Jess showed us their equipment in the field.
So everything's still velcroed on the top,
Yes.
GPS and battery, LiDAR on the bottom, so you're catching it when it comes in.
Exactly. So this is why we have to catch the drone like by hand, because you can't really land with the LiDAR on the bottom.
While the West of Whale Wise kept on whale watch, we whisked Jess away to reveal what we'd been working on.
First of all, do you like the box?
Love the box.
Great. We
Nice
didn't
colour.
do that bit.
We hope what's inside helps you with your amazing work.
Aww. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh my God.
So this is what we presented to Jess.
It combines all our learnings. One major development is that we added a little display, which gives an all systems go check for the battery level, satellite lock status for the GPS, SD card check to make sure the data is recording.
And you should see it booting up,
Oh, yes, I do.
checking all the systems.
Yeah. Amazing.
And it even shows you a live readout from the LiDAR so you can make sure that it's working properly.
So if you start pointing that at things, you'll see the live
Yeah,
feed
if
out.
you move your hand underneath it like this, it'll tell you what it's seeing.
After 30 seconds, it goes into sleep mode with this little whale icon.
See a whale on the screen now.
So that's gone to sleep to save battery. So if you press the white button,
Okay.
then it wakes up again.
Oh, wow.
So you can check everything when it starts up, make sure it's all running, and then it goes to sleep so that it's not using excess power on the screen while it's actually in the air and no one's looking at
It's
it.
actually so cute, and I love the whale.
And also, how about this? So on the old one, you showed us you had to pull the enclosure apart to
Yeah.
grab out that SD
Yeah.
card, and that's why one broke. So now the SD card is just there.
Oh my God.
You could just pull it out.
So different.
Different.
In the best way. Like, I was not expecting, I mean, I had no idea what to expect, but I was not expecting it to look like this, and I love it.
The fins are actually, I mean, they look quite fun, but really they're also so you can still try and land it on the
Yeah.
ground, and the LiDAR's recessed up a bit so that it won't hit the ground when you land it.
But if you do still want to catch it, then that's what this is for.
The handle attachment is similar to Ed's original concept, but now made as sturdy as mine.
We also incorporated the rugged GPS tether from Sam's concept.
And then you can hold it by that while catching the drone, which would be on top of this.
Okay, guys, your reveal is here.
We've refined the clip mechanism from Ed's original concept to be as strong as possible and easy to use while wearing gloves.
We'll strap this underneath the drone.
Still making sure that the drone can be folded away while this piece is still attached.
The legs can still fold over it.
This is so cool, guys. I absolutely love.
Once the team had finished calling us clever,
Charming,
funny,
very well outfitted.
and competitively priced, we handed the reins over to Jess.
Would you like to try it?
Yeah, do you want to take it for a test
I
drive?
think we'd love to, yeah.
So for the first time, Jess lined up the drone to take off from the ground.
Okay, here you go, little drone.
There's your controller.
Thank you. Would you like me to fly?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I don't even have to say anything. Are you ready, ground? Release! Woo!
And away.
And it's off. Look at that.
Yay!
Well, let's try a ground landing. then.
Okay, God,
Same
I've never
spot.
done this before in my life.
Look at the little fins as it flies in. There we go.
Whoa.
Yes! So what do you think after the first
I
flight?
think it's amazing. Yeah, I love it. I really love it.
We tested the new easy catch system too.
Right, let's see if it's easier to catch.
On the drone! Overall, yeah, as I said, had no idea what to expect. love that you've done it as a whale. I think, yeah, the lack of wires is amazing. I think this is super cool, this little screen that you've done. And this is a really good idea as well.
With no whales spotted, we all headed back to the cars, but we were thrilled the new device worked, at least in theory.
I think it went very well.
But as we romantically drove off into the sunset, everything suddenly got very exciting.
Wow, look at that. Get some footage of that, that's incredible. Oh my God, get an SD card in the drone as well.
Yep.
With the light, that looks amazing.
Crazy.
That is awesome. That's a magical sight. Look at that. Right, let's do something.
Okay.
So we've spotted whales out in the bay. So while they've gone for a dive, we're going to get the drone up, ready for when they resurface.
Yeah, this will be the first real-world test of the new system with some actual whales.
So if I wake it up,
Yep.
it's still searching for GPS, so we'll wait for that.
Yes, we have satellite.
Okay, we've got a GPS log.
Take off.
Whee, goodbye.
Oh, you can hear them. Can you hear them, Sam?
It was barking.
It wasn't barking.
Yes, it was. Did you not hear it woof?
Yeah, you see the whales, you see?
There we go.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, look, all three at the same time. The view you get from the drone is ridiculous. And it's all seemed very theoretical up to now, up until I saw your screen just then, and there are three mammoth objects gliding through the water. It suddenly became very real.
Exactly.
Oh, so this LiDAR, this new LiDAR will be amazing in terms of just making the whole process smoother and user-friendly. Amazing. They've all gone for a dive, so it's time for me to take the drone back.
Amazing.
Oh, yes, look at that. I had to Google the shape of a whale's tail yesterday, and it is just one of the most satisfying shapes. The up, straight line on the bottom, up and curves round, and then dibbity-bobbity, bibbity-bobbity. It is just one of the most wonderful shapes I've ever seen.
To check the data, we visited WhaleWise's coastal base, plugged the SD card into Jess's mainframe,
And it says that
scaling the
whale
big fella
was
at 10.24 meters.
We have scaled the whale.
So everything worked, but it was a bit too ugly, big, heavy, and ugly.
So after a whole bunch of 3D printed iterations, we ended up with this. The final design.
Here it is. We've refined the design to be even more whale-like, because why not?
The main body has internal features to perfectly house all the electronics, all held in place with the top part, secured with lightweight self-tapping screws.
We've lightweighted the tray piece too, and optimized the clip mechanism. Woof. Compared to the first prototype, everything is much smaller. We achieved this by tightly arranging the electronics and having very thin walls.
And we've displayed the information on the screen as icons, so there's no language barrier.
It can still use the optional handle, and it's now more weather resistant.
The SD card and USB-C charging ports are safely behind a rubber bung.
So nothing will be exposed to the elements anymore.
So, mission accomplished.
Wait. There was another mission we accomplished.
We've been waiting to do this ever since you mentioned it when we first met you. Ah, great.
Thank you very much.
Here you go.
Well, we actually have something for you to say thank you for all the help you've given us over the last few months. We've made you these. These are a little 3D relief map.
And we've done 2 of them. So this one's Husavik, and this is this exact fjord as a 3D map.
Yes, while building the LiDAR thing, we'd modelled up the 2 Icelandic locations where Jess spends her summers using topographical satellite data. Made them look a bit like a whale, 3D printed them, took them to a foundry where they were used as moulds for solid bronze casting, and there you have it. 2 incense holders to bring a little bit of whaley Iceland to Jess's London yoga sessions.
Guys, that's actually so kind, and I wasn't expecting this, and this is just so personal.
And now, yoga.
Take your socks off.
What?
Yeah.
Despite Jess's sadistic idea to do it barefoot,
Come on, socks off.
the experience was very zen.
Keep your hands in prayer and just bring your gaze out in front.
Off camera, Jess told us this is a highly advanced pose for highly advanced minds.
The teacher's not meant to laugh.
And it looks so elegant, Ed. I can feel the breeze between my toes very intensely. It's been a brilliant adventure, from meeting Jess in the cold of Putney to meeting Jess in the cold of Iceland and everything in between.
Yes, and we've now delivered one of these to the Whalewise team, and the system is now available to any research organisation that needs it.
So thank you to Mauser, MPP and ACU for making this possible.
Thanks so much.